Hey, Wise Bread readers. I'm here with Maria Nedeva from The Money Principle, one of the biggest personal finance blogs in the United Kingdom. Maria, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to chat with us and share some of your insights about personal finance.
It's okay, Ashley. It's a pleasure. It's a great honor to be asked, actually.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you here. The Money Principle is a very well-known blog in our community and was actually nominated as one of the best international personal finance blogs at last year's Plutus Awards. So congratulations on that. Can you tell me a little bit more about the Money Principle and what inspired you to start blogging?
Um, the money principle actually charts my learning about 4 years ago. I decided that I will learn everything there is to know about money because, as my readers know, and as your listeners and viewers will learn, we found ourselves in a rather big financial trouble. So I thought, okay, I'm learning. And then I came to realize that anybody actually can get their finances in order if they learn to do two things. If they learn how to learn and they learn how to act on this learning. So that is roughly what the money principle is about. That is why a friend of mine says that the money principle makes her head hurt and her wallet sing.
I love that. One of the things that I love about your site is how transparent you are with some of your finances. I know that you were able to eliminate over $150,000 in debt in just under 3 years, which is amazing. I'm curious to know if there's any one thing that you did that you really feel helped you accomplish that goal.
You see, Ashley, as I say, we had a strategy. Now, the strategy was very simple. The strategy said, you rationalize your spending so you get the best quality of life with the least expenses, right? Mm-hmm. You earn as much as you can and you put the difference against the debt. Very simple, right?
Right.
And the strategy worked. Now, the interesting, if I try not to be so flippant, actually, what people have to realize that the latte factor actually doesn't work because giving up your lattes adds up to a bit, but there are big gains to be made by things like looking at insurance. It turned out that we overpay an awful lot of insurance. So there were big gains, and the main thing was increase your earnings. Right? So
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Very good. Well, I mean, again, that's just such an impressive feat. I know that you said you've been blogging for a while, 3 to 4 years, and I'm sure you've read and written about so many different money saving tips. Is there any money saving advice that you've really had stand out that you identified as like the best tip you've ever heard?
Well, it's not actually a very direct saving tip, but when I went to university, my mom gave me one financial piece of advice. And it said, learn to control your money because you don't want your money to control you.
I love that. That's such great advice.
And it was, yes, but actually it took me about 25 years to realize how wise this was. Right? So that is why the whole money principle idea and the control thing and how you actually learn to control your budget and how you become. The other thing is I have developed this thing about being a frugal artist. I don't like frugality as such, but being a frugal artist is wonderful because being a frugal artist means that I bake my own bread because I save money, but it also relaxes me. I know what's in the bread, etc., etc. So it's always about more than saving money. So frugal artistry is great.
I love that. I love that saying, frugal artistry, instead of just being a frugalist or being frugal artistry. That's brilliant. I love it. So I know you blog, but I know you teach philosophy of science and innovation, and you've even advised prime ministers on how to spend money on science. All of that sounds like so complex and time consuming to me. So I'm curious to know if there are any tools or apps that you use to kind of simplify your life as you're doing all these things.
Yes, I actually made the list.
Okay, awesome.
Now I love Dropbox.
Okay.
Dropbox actually saves me an awful lot of worry which files I take with me when I travel, when I move my office and stuff like that. I love all the communication tools, including Skype, Viber, WhatsApp. Lately, I've started using Hangouts as well, and sometimes it works better, sometimes it doesn't. The one thing that I really love is Trello. Trello is a great app because it's very easy to do your to-do lists, but it's not like doing them on paper, because you can have an overall kind of view of what you're doing and link what you do today with your vision of where you want to be in a very long time. So you make sure that you're terribly parsimonious in what you do. You don't do anything that doesn't get you where you want to be, really, to put it bluntly. So this is roughly the apps that I really like. Apart from this, it is a very regimented life I lead. So I kind of know what I do almost every minute of my life.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I have a dog, so I don't know any longer what's happening.
Oh no. I love it.
Puppy. Yes, a puppy. We have a 5-month-old puppy,
Oh.
and our life is completely turned upside down.
Oh, how cute. What kind of dog is it?
She is Border Collie Blue Merle.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very sweet, yes.
Wonderful. Well, I know you mentioned traveling is something that you do, and I'm sure that you travel to go see the prime ministers, and I know you did some traveling over the weekend. I'm curious to know, when it comes to traveling, what sort of frugal strategies do you use to keep your costs down? What frugal artistry strategies do you use?
Yes, I will have to answer this question about when we travel for fun.
Okay.
Because when I travel, usually the prime ministers pay.
Oh, that's fantastic. Even better.
Yes. But when we travel for fun, what I find is that the one thing that works every time is book everything separately and get the best deal for each part of what you do. Right. So book the travel, the accommodation, the food, everything. It usually works out much cheaper than booking packages. Booking kind of holiday packages is sounds something that makes your life easier, but in fact it restricts you also as being more expensive than if you book things separately. So that's about it.
Okay, awesome.
And we had no spend day. We went skiing, and I said we're having 3 no spending days skiing.
Oh, how
and it's
fun.
very funny because my whole family bought into that.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's neat to get everybody on board and kind of have a no spend to be able to travel. That's fantastic. Awesome. Well, I'm sure that keeping in touch with clients and family and friends and even prime ministers is important to you, and doing so in a frugal way is important. Since you and I are chatting using Skype, and I know you've mentioned Skype in this interview already, I'm curious to know, what are your favorite ways to use Skype?
I use Skype to talk to my friends and colleagues abroad. I have to say that we've actually several times used Skype to have meetings, because I work in international research teams. And until recently, we used to travel all the time. Now, the time for this is gone. We can use Skype, and usually meetings, if you know the other people, work well. Now, of course, the free kind of chats and stuff is fine. But one thing that I find very useful, when I'm particularly in the States or South America, phoning back home, even on the home line, is so much cheaper. Right? So even if I don't Skype, even the bandwidth is not sufficient, phoning home is, I don't know, 1-2 pence a minute. And if I use a normal line, it is £1.50 per minute or something. Wow. So it makes enormous difference.
Yeah.
It is a good thing.
Fantastic.
So that is the main thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maria. I really appreciate your time, and I know you're so busy. So thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you, Ashley, and see you in New Orleans.
Yes, I can't wait. I will see you at FinCon.
See you.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.